Well, no, because it doesn't do the key anymore. It just says it's logged in.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Hi, Internet.
Oh, my God. Hello, Internet.
Hello.
Look at us.
Mm-hmm.
Now look away. Now look back at us.
Yeah. One of you will not finish this podcast.
What?
I don't know. I mean, that's...
Surprise, I'm your wife. All of you.
You're a witch.
What? I'm not a witch. I'm your wife.
Congratulations to everyone who is watching. I'm your wife.
It's common law.
It's actually quite uncommon for me to be married.
Oh. I mean, it's not unusual.
I do it all the time. Why do you keep doing that?
Look how cool we look. Look at 3 super cool guys.
Drinking fucking candy soda.
Oh, you got a dream too, didn't you?
Yeah.
Oh, I have a dream.
Jesus, Charles. All right. I mean, I just.
All right.
I was like,
Let's get serious here.
I thought you said you tried the dream. Are you trying to warm up to the dream? Because I thought you said you didn't.
It's
fit.
fine.
All right.
The dream is fine.
The dream.
The dream is fine.
Yeah. That's.
I've had one.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I have also had one now. I also think it is fine. I think I do like Stardust or whatever the other one
Yes.
is better.
The other one, Space Mountain, was better.
The one that was a stealth advertising ploy for the boys.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, sorry. Just checking. Making sure everything's
Ah.
working. Ka-chow.
Chow indeed. That makes no sense to anybody that just joined.
Ka-chow indeed. Welcome, everyone.
We were discussing.
Ka-chow to all of you as
We were
well.
discussing
Pixar movies.
But yeah, Pixar movies, and then somehow it led to Cars. Only about
Which
Cars.
is a Pixar movie.
Well, it is, but I mean, we focused in on Cars for some reason.
Well, you said that Cars sucks.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, it's the weakest.
Yeah.
so I said ka-chow.
It's the weakest source material original IP Pixar movie before Disney completely took over and turned it into a sequel factory.
What about Planes?
Planes is not even Pixar. That was literally just Disney. That's actually that's the moment they took over and they were we're gonna use your computers and make another cheap ass movie. So it doesn't have the Pixar name on it.
What about Trains? Did they do a Trains?
I don't think so.
They should have done a Trains.
Should have done a Trains.
Should have done a Trains.
You fucked up, Disney. You should have done a Trains. Jeez.
No, I mean the original Cars is fine. It's
Oh, you heard it here first.
Oh,
Arlo says Cars sucks.
you said it's fine. That means it's terrible.
yeah.
No, it only
Jesus.
means it's terrible when you say it, Josh.
No, it doesn't.
Yes.
No, when I say something's fine, that means it's good.
That means it's awful.
no, that
yeah.
means it's great.
Means it's awful.
It means it's something you can watch. You can put it on and go, I can watch this.
awful.
Functional.
Absolutely.
No, that's for games. You can play it. If a game is fine, you can play it.
Okay.
Fine.
So by definition, every movie is fine unless
No,
you're blind.
many movies are not fine. Many movies are bad.
But you just said you can watch it.
How much Dumpster Baby did you watch?
I could have watched it.
But did you?
No,
Would you describe it as watchable?
I would not.
There you go.
But I also have higher standards than this fine level that you're trying to define.
Ah,
Ah,
I was definitely paying attention to that conversation and laughed appropriately.
Sure.
Ha 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 ha.
I could tell.
ah.
I should open up the chat that I can't see. That'll be fun.
Oh man, I can't wait to swat down some porn bots in the chat.
While looking super cool.
What was the deal last week with the guy who came in and he was like,
Oh.
"What's all this?" And you were like, "Nope, banned."
Oh,
that like
did you not read the second follow-up?
You didn't get to see. You
No.
didn't see it.
Oh,
okay.
oh, yeah,
The
it was-
follow-up was
what something about
It was like,
women can't make movies; they should be in the kitchen.
Oh, okay.
right.
All right. I didn't
Exactly.
see that. I just saw they're like, hey guys, what's all this about, huh?
I saw it briefly and then it disappeared, so
Okay.
I didn't take it all in. I just
Yeah,
had
that's
the
pretty
gist.
much what it was.
Okay.
And I was like, I'm not even gonna
And I
stop
was-
and ask if it's
No.
A
in
joke.
jest or not. I'm just just gonna delete this man's whole life.
Yeah.
Kazap.
I mean, it's
Actually, I
fine.
think I just deleted that comment.
Okay.
Just in case, give him a half a shot. But I think once he got
I don't even remember what the
Kazapped.
I don't remember what the scenario was. Was last week's movie directed by a female? I don't remember what.
Dude, I have no
Yeah.
idea. But it could have been anything. We could have
That's
said
true.
like ladies can do stuff now, and he's
That's true.
It was the Cynthia Rothrock movie.
Oh right,
Ah.
that's right. Yeah,
Ladies
Yeah.
were doing stuff.
right. Yeah,
right,
she was
yeah.
punching and kicking.
We
She
probably
was-
said ladies can do stuff, and
Yeah.
then he was
Yeah.
like, "Oh no, they can't."
right.
Even if it's a joke, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, go away. Get out of here.
Like,
I mean, I think I used to make jokes like that jokingly because I thought that it was done. Like it was it was like it's sort of like when you join in on the Thanks Obama joke, and then until you see it like painted on a business for real, and you're like, oh right, people who actually said this seriously.
well, there's
Yeah.
context. You can't just like
Right,
be a
you're right, right.
like
I
you
mean,
can't be a nobody and come in here and
right. I mean, I
Yeah.
think,
try to make a joke like
Yeah, we don't
I
know
th- I
you
think it's
or
also
your
the-
intent.
Yeah, it's also the audience. I mean, I would make
Right.
those jokes a lot to my mom, who was a single mom, so that's funny, when I
Mhm.
would do things like that.
the
to
Thanks
her.
Obama. I
You
don't
said
think
thanks
I get
Obama
that.
to your
Yeah,
mom?
I did, yeah. No, I'm just saying, like, I was raised by a single mom, so I would make
Oh,
jokes about ladies
I
not
see.
being able to do stuff.
Oh,
right?
okay. Right.
But she knew I was completely joking because
Sure.
clearly.
But you wouldn't just walk into a mall and
No,
go,
I wouldn't. I
"Ladies,
wouldn't.
am
Be,
I right?"
wouldn't walk into the limit and be like, "Y'all can't do anything, right?"
You ladies are
Limited?
limited. You go to the limited
All right.
TOO.
Is that even not a thing? I thought that was a ladies' store.
It is. It's
Okay.
just
It's
just
limited.
a strange pull.
They wouldn't let you in because it's limited
Right.
to ladies.
I don't shop at a lot of ladies' stores. Victoria's Secret, is that a more
Sure,
modern?
yeah.
Okay.
That is a modern reference you can make.
Okay,
and
fine.
even still, not really.
Lane Bryant.
No, see, that feels old. I feel that feels older than the limited. Am I wrong?
Uh,
I thought that was just always like. I thought that was always larger ladies' clothes for
I
like
don't-
forever.
is it larger ladies' clothes? I don't
yeah.
know.
It
I
is.
think it
Lane
is.
Bryant is,
Oh.
is
It's
plus
like
size.
designer
Okay.
plus size clothes,
Yes.
like to look
fancy larger size. Fancy sizes for normal people.
Right.
Talbots.
like not
Talbots.
size too fancy.
I think
like-
that's an art supply store.
No,
Or
no.
frames. They sell frames
No,
and Talbots.
I think they sell ladies' clothes.
Nah.
no Talbot's. He's right. It's a clothing store.
Really?
Kathmandu.
Yeah, Talbot's is a fancy.
The
but
body
but that's
shop.
also. I think that's unisex. I think that's like saying like I'm going to.
Oh, is Talbot's? Does Talbot sell other stuff?
I believe it's
Okay.
just as equally
Fuck, I
fancy
don't-
man's clothes than anything.
Apparently,
but I don't know.
give a fuck from shit.
I mean, every department store is 75% ladies things and 25% man things,
Mhm.
but that's just how they all are. I mean, as far as clothing, I
Yeah.
mean, it's like the
Because they
section
got
is-
all that kitchenware. Am I right?
No, men are just basic bitches. That's what I'm trying to say. We're like, give me jean and shirt,
right.
and ladies have style. Like that's
I'm a shop
true.
at Basic Bitches. It's a ladies' store.
yeah.
It's actually a men's store. It's very weird.
It's right next to the.
I'm a self-hating man. Yes. I'm a self-hating white male,
Hmm.
but I hate every color.
I mean,
and
I
gender
don't-
equally. So.
Self-hate because of any radical quote unquote woke thing. I just
Right.
fucking hate myself.
Yeah.
The other stuff is new, but
Mm.
I hate all the other boring ass white men.
It's true. Yeah. Sports and
I like
fantasy football.
Sports is okay. Fantasy football is not a sport.
It is to
Yeah,
me,
it's-
Chuck.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, because I fucking clobber people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Sorry.
go to their homes and hunt them.
Like, give me your draft pick, or I'll take
Right,
your
yeah.
liver.
Click accept trade, or I'm gonna tackle you.
Okay.
Wait, no.
Fantasy football is just.
Are you trying to sneeze?
No, I'm trying not to explode my guts.
Fantasy football is just D&D for people that used to beat up the people for playing D&D.
Why?
Spreadsheets for people who don't want to play EVE Online.
Yeah.
Boom, roasted. Suck it. various different nerds.
You know what,
Suck it, everyone.
you know what, Chuck? You excel at joke making.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's easy as 1, 2, 3 for you, isn't it?
They call me a mathematician in the sheets
And
on Google. See, because Google Sheets is
Right,
the name
yeah.
of.
Yeah. We
got it.
Man, we have fun here.
Oh yeah, man.
We
you're,
have
you're
fun
not going to
here.
get these kind of spreadsheet puns anywhere else.
No. And you're not going to get them in the episode because they're not relevant in
That's
any
absolutely
way.
True.
This movie contains 0 spreadsheets.
They call me Lotus because I'm about to blow this podcast the fuck up.
1 star, we're in. There it is.
That'll be perfect intro for.
Let's just bank that one.
Yeah, right.
One day it'll come up.
Yeah, make some notes.
Yeah, I get it.
All these hot Lotus jokes that are just lost to
Spreadsheet
time.
jokes.
Yeah,
Fucking ripping it up.
Clippy.
that's an office thing.
You're an office thing.
Sure. No, I'm not.
Not right now.
I'm absolutely not. I won't fight you on many completely insane.
You have a poor
lists.
outlook.
Yeah, I do. I have a poor outlook. I have an Outlook Express.
Why is no one in the chat laughing?
I don't know.
We specifically requested it.
Laugh, motherfuckers. Give me some LOLs and some ruffles.
It's a good old ruffle
As
cop.
long as they're doing it for real.
Hey,
Or
thank
maybe
you,
they're just
Curtis.
like, oh god, how much longer are the spreadsheet
Hey,
jokes
there we
gonna
go. We
happen?
got-
Yeah, no, just like
Got
I
an
just want to
LOL.
hear about this 70s movie. Would
Yeah.
you shut the fuck up?
Stop with the spreadsheet jokes.
Why
It's
aren't
getting
you?
a little bit formulaic.
Why aren't you? Why
We're
aren't
gonna
you
put
playing
you
the
in
movie?
cells.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm,
Yeah.
mm.
Hmm?
Eh?
Uh-huh.
Let's light this candle.
Okay.
Okay. Whoa,
Jesus,
that's
that
a
was gross.
sound.
That's why we have 3 viewers ever.
Like, do you like your ASMR sloppy wet?
All right, welcome to the BMFcast.
Hey,
BMFcast.
Episode 552.
Wow.
Nice.
So many numbers.
I like numbers.
I am Harlow,
I'm BJ.
I'm Chuck.
and what we do each and every episode of this here BMFcast is we go and we watch ourselves a quote-unquote bad movie. Then we come in here and talk about it. And then they get ratings. Good bad movies, enjoyable bad movies. They get 1 to 5 jocks and robot jocks.
Robot Jocks. Hooray.
Hooray. However, there are bad movies, and stay away. They get a negative sliding scale. 1 to 5 bags and giant bags of trash.
Boo.
Blah.
Trash is bad. Throw it out.
Indeed.
Get it out.
You
of
know
here.
else is bad?
What?
Animals.
No, animals are good.
Oh, well, okay. Animals with no ozone.
No zone?
No, no zone. No ozone.
No zone. Right.
Yeah, we watched 1977's Day of the Animal.
Yeah.
Day.
AKA Danimals.
Aw, Danimals.
Was that the yogurt stuff?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. All right. Why I remember this? I don't know.
Yogurt for kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like Go-Gurt.
This movie
it
is
was
not
it
for
was
kids.
Go-Gurt before Go-Gurt.
Right. It was
Correct.
shaped like animals.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, this movie does not feature any yogurt that we know of.
No, this
It does
was before
feature-
yogurt.
Yeah, it was before the Greeks had invented yogurt.
Yeah, no, this is 70s woke bullshit.
Yeah.
Bunch of tree hugger ass.
Yeah. Like, this is like day one of the ozone crisis. They were like ripped from the headlines. Let's make a movie about it.
I really think it was. I mean, 1977 making a movie where the depletion of the ozone layer is the catalyst for the movie is
I got to be honest.
kind of weird. And
I am aware of my life throughout the 70s and 80s. I do not remember hearing about the ozone layer till the mid 80s.
yeah, at least I'm going to say I had to be at least 8 to 10. So yeah, 85, 87, somewhere around.
Like New Coke era was also, it was like, oh shit, there's New Coke and there's a hole in the ozone layer. What do we do?
Yeah.
Not 1977.
No,
And it's not like this was just somebody making shit up.
And that was just like, hey, maybe stop buying like aerosol deodorants and stuff until
Yes.
we fix this.
Right.
Yeah. And that was just like, not like, oh my God, we're all going to die tomorrow.
Yeah.
And this was like, you're all gonna die tomorrow. Like it's happening now.
But like what I'm saying is that this movie, it's not like some science fiction tale that just happened to turn out to be real a decade later. It's correct. I mean, they're giving the information exactly. You know, it's
Well,
like
yeah, I
there's
mean,
an opening crawl of the study.
I
that
mean,
was,
other than microwaving brains, but yeah.
I'm just saying,
the
like
beginning of the movie.
Yeah, I'm
they're
just
correct,
saying.
But
the ozone. There's a hole.
Mhm.
Here's what's causing it. We don't know anything else about it. Like that was kind of everything I ever knew.
I suppose. I mean, this is like a slight holdover between. I would say something like the Andromeda Strain or Capricorn 1, where it was like science fiction, but also maybe,
Sure.
maybe, like kind of thing. But like,
Yeah,
but like mixed with like some thing from beyond space and shit like that. Just because it's like
Acid rain.
Well, I just mean like if there's a hole in the ozone, then evil cosmic rays can get in and it's going to scramble animals' brains. I'm just saying it's
a very easy science fiction story to write. It's because no one could go, wait, no, not in 77. They'd be like, Star Wars just came out. That's cool.
Yeah.
So
I'm just saying it's somewhere in between where it's like it's starting to get grounded, where it's like, oh, we need a factual basis for this and then we can go ludicrous. But
Yes.
then it just,
yeah, that's all it is. There was a study that came out, and the guy who wrote this read that and said, aha, an idea. We know a guy who has a lot of animals. Put him in a movie.
Yeah. This is just a movie about a group of people, ragtag group of people that are showing up to go on a survival hike. I mean, just really like
just a 2-week
bring a rucksack and no food and maybe a canteen and we'll rough it from there. I mean, it does not seem well thought out or anything at all.
It's the 70s, man.
Sure.
Like you just did that shit.
Yeah.
No security, no communication. You're just like, yeah, I'm gonna go out in the woods for 2 weeks with a guy I don't even know.
A guy named Steve.
Steve, don't you forget it. His name's not Hotshot. It's Steve.
But it's just they show up. They're loading onto 2 tourist helicopters that are going to take them to some drop off point and they're just going to hike from. I mean, like 45 miles or something like that. I mean, like more than that. I mean, double that, and they go back. But I mean, it's like because the way they describe it, it's like they've hiked 30 miles, and the Rangers Tower is like another 15.
Yeah.
So, I mean, unless they just got
they were
crazy
going,
lost or whatever.
I think they were going like 30 miles down the mountain and then 30 miles back up.
Okay.
Basically, is what I think is happening.
But yeah, it's just a random group of people. Among them, Leslie Nielsen is in there.
Funny Man, Leslie Nielsen.
One of his last serious roles, I suppose, before he became all funny man all the time.
Pretty close to the end of him being dramatic.
Yeah, I mean,
although it's funny because his character thinks he's funny, but
he's not.
No.
Well, there are a couple things that happen that are funny coming from Leslie Nielsen.
Sure.
Early on, like before he becomes, a spoiler alert, unhinged madman. Some of the stuff is just funny because Leslie Nielsen is saying it.
Yeah.
And my brain expects him to be funny, so it turns whatever he's saying into a joke for the first 25 minutes of this movie.
He is the human villain of the film. Like
He's the only villain of the film.
Sure.
Chuck.
Well, yes, but I mean, like you have
except
these,
for all the other humans that made the hole in the ozone in the first place.
Those people also did it. But like all of the disaster movies and stuff like that, there's always like there's a disaster, but there's always like, and we got to deal with this guy.
Yeah, like it's the guy that owns the dam that did cheaped out on the thing that made it break in the first place.
Yeah.
And he's gonna get away with it until hubris kills him.
The only thing this movie does not do is tie the ozone layer hole to Leslie Nielsen in any way. It's not like he owned like a chemical company.
He is just a Madison Avenue asshole,
Yep.
basically, just an ad man from New York. And
Yep.
I don't know, other than like they're like, "Why are you out here?" And he's like, "I do a lot of ads on nature, so I figured I'd see for it myself."
Yeah.
Anyway, grr.
He does a lot of
Anyway, grr.
racist statement, racist statement, racist statement. I'm just funning you. Why aren't you laughing? He's that kind of guy.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh God.
It's a way Homer. It's just like he's that level of asshole. Like, ugh.
After his first sentence, you're like, kill him.
Mhm.
Die horribly, Leslie Nielsen. We hate you.
But yeah, Susan Day George is along. She's been showing up, I feel like,
Ants.
a few times here.
She was an ant.
Yeah.
She fought the ants.
Yes.
Now she fights more
All the animals.
Larger
animals.
things.
Yeah.
She conquered one species.
Yes.
Now she's on to the rest.
That's the tagline.
Anyone else of note? I mean, there's some other like.
The star is Christopher George, who is her husband. He was the bad guy in Enter the Ninja.
Okay.
He's the guy who dies real stupid at the end of that.
Okay.
He was a very prolific guy in these kinds of movies in the 70s and 80s. I really enjoy him. He's got a real gravelly voice, and when he wants to act, it's like, oh shit, that's a good speech. The guy who directed this, the movie before this is Grizzly, which is most of these people just fighting grizzly bears under the same circumstance. Not the ozone layer, it's just grizzlies are
Right.
pissed off. They're like, get out of my woods, you fucking people. And he's in that, and a couple other people in this are in that. He's better than that.
Okay.
But he's good in this. He wears a hat.
Does he wear
Cool.
more mini hats in the other movie?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
He's just a tour guide in this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Susan Backlany, who's in this and also does stunt work for Linda Day George, was the swimmer that gets et in Jawas.
Mm-hmm. Jawas.
Jawas, yeah.
Like
No, like
Okay.
like with sharp teeth.
Oh, Jawas.
like good day,
Jawas.
Brace. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jawas.
Yeah. Right. Crikey.
Yeah. She's the first one to die here, too.
Is she?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. So,
She's
Oh,
maybe-
okay, she was that
came
girl.
and she went without asking.
yeah, so there's a group of like 12 people. It is your standard
We say it doesn't.
disaster movie crew of just everyone is from some different point of view, different lifestyle, different everything.
Yeah, there's a professor guy who's like photography bird watching nerd. There's
That has nothing
fucking
to do with
bird
anything.
nerd.
nothing ever. Yeah.
He takes one photo and that's
oh no,
it.
he takes a bunch of photos.
No.
Yeah, he takes one photo and then when they make camp, he takes a bunch in the background.
Well, I was not watching the background.
But yeah, I mean, he's there. There's
your
a
fault.
there's a football man who now has cancer, and I guess it's just like
It's the Brian
Nature.
Song character. He's here for some reason.
there's a Native American man who
Mm-hmm.
seems like he was part of the expedition just because of like his authority on things. So, I mean, it's
okay.
it's a '70s movie. It's just like he knows nature.
Well, no, the thing about it is
Basically.
they land, they are out of the helicopters for like 30 minutes, and suddenly there are like 8 birds
Oh yeah, they
squawking at them.
I mean, the thing is like what's weird about this is like you said that this movie is like Roar with the plot, but there's a scene out of this that is straight from the birds, which is funny because
Yeah.
it's like Tippi Hedren and Roar. I just mean like it's like there's some scene. It's like guys, like seriously, that movie is like at least 10 years old, probably more like 15. How the hell are you not like just being like, well, sorry, we can't stay.
Yeah.
Uh,
Right. But so like Christopher George, the main guy, he's immediately hip to this is not right. There's something weird here. The Native American guy is also immediately like there's something very not right here. And those two immediately bond over that because they are like, we're going to keep an eye out for everybody else.
Mhm.
So that's why the two of that's why that guy seems like he's part of the package is because he's immediately with the main
Yeah,
guy.
yeah.
Like
Steve.
something's not right
Yeah.
here, Steve. You take watch. I'll back you up.
Right.
We got this.
Yeah.
So that's why
I
he
think
seems
it's
like,
also just confusing because it's like they never bothered to explain anybody's role other than just like, hi, you must be nerdy professor birdwatching man and all that kind of thing. But it's never like, what is the structure here? Who are people in command and
Yeah.
who is Steve? But I mean, other than
That's
like,
because it's only Steve
right,
who's in
it's,
command.
It's literally
Yeah.
just Steve because I mean, I think that's the other thing that's confusing is because they go off in 2 large helicopters. But as you said, it's like the helicopters just go drop them off and then leave.
I
Right.
told you it would be confusing because we didn't see the helicopters land.
Right.
So
Yeah.
because we did
Yeah,
not
true.
see the pilots take off, we were like, oh, those guys.
We also
are
didn't see the
pilots.
pilots at all.
Yeah, I think that's
know.
where I was just like Steve and whatever.
Steve.
I don't know.
Senti.
Senti?
Senti.
David
Sen-
Senti.
yeah, I just
His father changed their name to White.
Yeah, I assumed like they were the 2 helicopter pilots and also the guides, but no, he's
right.
also here for the
He's-
tour.
Just along for the ride. And-
but yeah, and then it's just
But I
They're
mean, like
animals.
from the title, you know why you're here. The movie
Because it's
is
the Animals Day. It's going to be a happy, fun time in the forest.
right. they immediately give you the ozone story. Like, it's on the news, it's on the radio, people are talking about it. Like, that's out there. It's not like people have to sit around and speculate, like, what the hell's going on. The movie is telling you the animals are crazy, the ozone layer hole is causing it. Go.
And also, for some strange reason, there is the local old fat town sheriff who just becomes the voice of doom. He just shows up in the beginning and is like, "Y'all shouldn't go," and it's like, why? Like, your town seems to be based on this kind of tourism. Like,
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
This is
He gives a
thankfully-
reason. I just don't remember what it
Yeah.
was. He said that there have been a bunch of attacks up in the woods and people had
Yeah, he's like, something weird going
never
on.
come back. Or
He's
whatever.
like, yeah, well, what are you gonna do?
okay. Yeah, I guess there had been some like random weird animal outrages.
It's just reports of like,
Yeah.
hey, something weird happened over there with a bunch of rattlers.
Yeah, he's for 2 seconds he's like doom.
But yeah, I mean, from there on, it is just they are walking through the woods, animals are stalking them.
Mhm.
Slowly but surely, the animals start attacking them, and they get more and more paranoid and angry and confrontational about it.
Yeah, like I think it's a wolf attacks or Mandy in the night, and then Mandy.
That's beautiful, man. A wolf attacks Mandy in the night.
Hang on, let me get my brushes.
Yeah, but and then her Mandy, her man fellow is like, it's a weird 70s movie where it's like they have marriage problems, but it's like that's not important. It's just like
Yeah.
it's just like they've come
They
on
are
this
here to
reconcile or whatever.
bond.
Yeah, and then
They're trying to give people a backstory so you give a shit about them,
sure.
I guess.
But she gets attacked by a wolf in the night, and they're like the next morning. Instead, like again, despite the fact that they've had this Hitchcockian experience with the birds, and a wolf attacks them, they're just like, well, you guys hike on back down by yourselves. We're gonna keep on, and it's like,
Here's the thing: the wolf attacks that lady, and then everyone is like, "Did you see what it was? Like, what was that?" It's like it was a fucking wolf. You saw it.
Well,
You
it was-
people chased it away.
It was dark, you know.
yeah,
It wasn't
I
that
mean-
dark.
I mean, he did ask, was it a wolf or a coyote? I mean, that's not a that's a
That's a-
size difference.
sure.
It's not about it.
Right. But yeah, Steve basically tells them, "Go to the ranger station. You'll be
Yeah.
fine. Follow this. Just go that way. Smell you later." And so those two go off on their own adventure, which
I wouldn't
just
call it an adventure.
well, it's a brief adventure.
Yeah.
I mean, they're like, she may have rabies. Keep her upright. I mean, it's like,
Yeah.
guys, fucking call it off. Like, this is where you could be like, you know what? It's time to pack it in and fucking head home. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
the
just
first
saying-
time somebody gets mauled by
Yeah.
a wild dog of some sort.
I mean, if it were not for the one lone, non, 70s white person here in the Native American character, it's like this is the perfect example of the Eddie Murphy telling the Amityville story. It's just like the fuck, like, get out. Sorry, we can't stay. It's just
Yeah.
like, yeah. I mean, it's just like there are signs that say call it off, get the fuck out. Also, why don't you have like radios or technology that I know exists?
Well, the kid has a radio.
I mean, no,
yeah,
I mean like
he has a
communicative.
transistor radio.
I mean, like a radio down, like
A two-way radio.
send a helicopter.
70s, man. You don't need to talk to nobody. You're just out in the woods, man.
Sure.
Well, the ranger station's over there. You can get there in a day
That's
and a
probably
half.
why they had to make so many movies about like don't go in the woods. You're gonna get murdered.
Yes, because it wasn't clear.
Yeah. Like,
Listen,
maybe don't go hitchhiking through Texas.
first you
just
saw go in
saying.
the woods.
Yeah.
Don't. Yeah. So Mandy and what's his face
Mhm.
are walking along, and she slips like hard. She just fucking eats it.
Wasn't it a bird that came out of
No,
nowhere
that's
and knocked her down?
It's after that. She
I-
just fucking slips it
Yeah.
first.
I think maybe
Oh,
they see
okay,
the
yeah.
birds.
She slips
Yeah.
on a bird does something and she's scared of it and slips.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it could cause, and she slips
Right.
down, and then one swoops and
This-
like
There's
attacks
a
her.
lot of bird cacaw.
But they have a spat. I mean, she's just
This
like,
leads to her just
"I
basically
hate
like,
you."
go fuck yourself. Like, we're done.
Yeah.
And he's like, whatever.
I'd rather just sit here and have my brain swell.
Yeah. And he starts to kind of walk away, and she sits up, and that's when a bird flies and punches her in the back of the head.
It kind of almost like grabs her in the head
Yeah.
and kind of drags her down with inertia.
It
You know,
shakes her around, and she loses her balance, and she goes over the side, and it is a really bad composite shot of a lady just kind of on a table flailing around.
but that's not before we have 3.5 minutes of birds attacking her and husband trying to keep her from falling off the cliff.
Yes.
Right. But I mean, they were hucking birds at this lady,
Oh,
at this
yeah.
actress. I mean,
That is the one thing about this movie is that whenever animals attack, it is clearly just someone throwing this poor animal on somebody.
yeah, like the rats.
The
Like,
rats part is great.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she gets birded to death
yeah.
and then goes over the edge. And
Well, see, like part of my bird law specialty is that I also understand the bird law of physics.
oh, okay, go on.
AC, and so there's inertia. It's a bird inertia is what
Bird
it actually.
inertia,
Yeah,
yeah.
and
Yeah, I'm
so
familiar with
when you fly into someone, that's what carries you forward, and the
Bird
flight
inertia?
transfer basically is what carries her over the cliff.
Okay.
Yeah,
yeah, bird inertia.
yeah, bird inertia. Yeah,
She goes over the cliff and dies. The birds disperse. They're
Sure.
like, we're done here. And dude just basically stands over the cliff, arms out, Mandy! And the
They make us wait for it though.
They do,
they
but the
make us wait
camera-
like 90 seconds.
the
for that.
camera is very much telegraphing exactly what's about to happen,
Yeah.
and it pays off exactly how you want it to.
because it's a low, like, zoom out
Yeah,
from
yeah.
him.
let's just wrap up the rest of his story because it basically doesn't go anywhere.
He dies to snakes.
Yeah, I mean, he just well, all right. So he's like, he's like, I guess we don't really ever see him like pick himself back up. We just see him like, he's done his shout to the sky camera yell thing. But then
He's
we just see him like
stumbling
through a stream and then stumbles upon a little girl. Actually, he's exhausted and he
Face plants
first.
into his stream.
Face plants into a stream to
gulping
drink.
down water.
And then a doll floats by his head, and
Yeah.
then there's like a ghost girl down the stream.
You know why he died? Spoiler alert: dies to snakes. He leaves that doll in the river.
Yeah, he doesn't bring it to her.
He lived if he had brought the doll.
Now before they all split up, they had found an abandoned campsite. That at first they were like when they're all still together, they were like, "Oh, hey, look, friends are over here." And they go over and it's like, "Oh, this campsite's empty." I think the implication was that's where this girl came from, but
Okay.
who knows? Because we see so many abandoned campsites throughout the rest of the film. But yeah, she's basically catatonic and just staring at him. And for the whole movie, you're like, "Oh, she's also Day of the Animals." Duh.
No, she's just
She's
8
just catatonic.
raccoons in a 7-year-old suit.
Right.
Yeah,
It was a burlap sack full
yeah.
of
She's
snakes.
basically a Muppet Man of animals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I mean, no, she's not. She's just a traumatized child. But,
Yes,
You
But,
know,
a newt is also an animal.
mhm.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
I'm saying that she doesn't have a lot of lines. She's just a traumatized girl.
Yeah.
But yeah, that guy adopts her. They stumble around, find a campsite, find snakes in the.
Well, they get back to
Tent.
town.
Well, no, there was something in the campsite too. Like something attacked them in the campsite where they were like, "We have to fuck off from here," because there's a truck sitting there that they never try to take at that campsite. So clearly that campsite was road accessible, not just hiking trail accessible. So I'm just saying that their survival instincts in this movie fucking suck.
Well, they're also getting ozoned
Okay,
in the brain.
sure.
It's
I mean,
clearly
just
affecting
Leslie
people.
Nielsen. I mean,
No, it's affecting more than that. I mean,
Okay.
this guy is pretty far gone by the end of this thing. I mean, some of it is grief, and some of it is exhaustion, and some of it, just all the regular survival things. But
well, and like, how many times do you think you're saved? Like, there's nothing there before you're just like, fuck, because. But I'm just saying, like, they once he stumbles with this girl, finally gets all the way back to town. This is long in the movie. Like, they have evacuated the town. They have discovered, like, oh my god, it's everything above 5,000 feet is getting fucked. We got to have martial law and evacuate this place. So
Yeah.
he stumbles back into town. After that, everything's gone. So he's just banging door to door looking for help, and like gets traumatized by this dog that keeps growling at people randomly. And then they try to hide in one car or they hide in one car. He grabs a hammer.
They get in a Bronco, cool ass Bronco.
cool.
doesn't
Bronco.
start.
It doesn't actually have a Bronco in the back, which I was waiting for.
Yeah, would have been
Like a
poetic.
stealth Bronco in the Bronco.
His
a Stronco, if you.
his car is 3 or 4 cars down.
Yeah.
It's a Volkswagen Beetle. He's gonna go over to that. He opens the door, just blindly puts his hand in it for some dumb reason.
It's because the dog is
the
menacing.
dog
him, yeah.
is growling at him, and it's filled with snakes.
Yes,
And
the beetle is full of snakes.
yeah, and he gets bit, and he's dead.
Yeah.
The dog also attacked him.
Right.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
guy doesn't deserve
The old
his
dog
fate.
snake. Yeah.
Like this, the only thing this guy ever really did was there's a part where he's gone to like 2 houses and can't get into either one, and just starts yelling at the kid for some reason, and she's like, "Sorry," and he's like, "Oh, you spoke. Okay, sorry. Anyway, let's go." That's the worst thing that guy does is just
well, that we know of. I mean, I don't think a Marriage Story was just one person fucking up. I mean,
I'm just saying this guy gets it second to Leslie Nielsen.
Okay,
gets it the roughest.
Sure.
I mean, the lady going over the cliff is pretty rough too. A lot of people eat it real bad.
Yeah,
for no reason.
Yeah, I mean, I think the people that got dogpiled probably didn't enjoy their time either. But
well, at least the last thing you saw was puppies.
Yeah.
Even though it's dogs.
I mean, I'll say here that if we were doing a Mystery Science Theater Riff Tracks track, I just would like to reiterate he's a good old boy because this guy's.
Oh yeah, because he gets a hammer.
He gets a hammer and is going to fight the dog with a hammer.
Yeah. Yep. Side note, that's a thing about this movie is that the dialogue just doesn't fucking matter in any way, shape, or form. You can talk through this entire film and you're not going to miss anything. Like, the premise, there's no twist coming. It is just, you basically know more than the characters do because it takes them a while to figure shit out. Mm-hmm. So everything they're saying is just incidental dialogue, basically. It's like, I don't care about your character or, if the mother and son are going to bond or whatever the deal is there.
The mother and the son that don't make any fucking sense. I'm just saying, like, this lady's way too old to have this kid, I think.
Well, that kid was 25.
Well, that kid was, yes. I mean, the actor portraying the kid was 25, if IMDb is to be believed. But, I mean...
I don't IMDb
But I'm just saying, like, this lady is like Shelley Winters in the Poseidon Adventure, basically. And it's like she has a 12-year-old kid, or maybe. I'm just saying, like...
And you tried to convince me that she was going to have some special skill at the end of this. Like,
I was joking.
Like she was going to fly the helicopter out or
something. No, like I was just joking that she was like, I was on the swim team and,
Yeah.
I was a helicopter pilot in Nam.
Yeah.
So
4 years
I was in the shit.
They shortly after this, they get attacked by mountain lions, the remaining group.
Yeah.
3 mountain lions.
Mm-hmm.
So, like...
Was that before they... No, they only got attacked by the one dog. It was 3 mountain lions and the big one.
So I think they had gotten to the food, and the food had been destroyed.
Right.
And they're all pissed off, and so they're like, all right, we're going to camp here. And Leslie Nielsen has already tried to start a mutiny, but everyone was like, no, you're an idiot. We're not listening to you. So for some reason, they leave him in charge to watch, and he falls asleep. And that's when the mountain lions are like, cool. Our opening is here.
Well, the birds tell the mountain lions
That's
that everybody's falling asleep.
The birds are very much the intel of this movie. One bird in particular. Mm-hmm. This one just leaps over a giant log to attack the Native American guy. And then all of a sudden 2 more enter the scene, and it's just attack every man.
Yeah, and they all became Spanish currency because they were all cougarons.
So they had been preparing torches for protection.
Mm-hmm.
So they wave the torches at the mountain lions to get them to go away. And eventually they do. But there's a lot of shots of mountain lions very pissed off. That's the one thing about this movie is that whenever there's a legit animal attack, like I know it's trained animals and they're just attacking like their trainer really, who's got a wig on pretending to be whichever character. But the way they are filmed and scored and the way they kind of go on a little too long in every instance is disturbing. Like Grizzly was the same way. There was you're going along watching Grizzly and it's like, this is a good fun time. Bear's Jaws ripoff. It's fun. And then the bear attacks happen and you're like, this is fucked up. Like the animal attacks in this are fucked up and they go on a little too long and you're like, I'm worried about the trainer. I'm worried about the crew. I'm worried about whoever else is nearby because it's still a fucking mountain lion.
I mean, I usually have a pretty good sense for that. Like, I mean, like whatever the hell we watched the driving the Gone in 60 Seconds thing. I mean, I felt paranoia and dread watching that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really feel it for this. I mean, I don't know what it was. I mean, like, it's effective, but I think it's just like what you said. It's like I could still tell it was just like it was a big cat that was playing with somebody that they knew.
Yeah,
I saw Roar. Those animals loved those people and still could have killed them.
Yeah, but I mean, those were also like that was like
those weren't trained animals. Those were like random pets,
yeah,
quote unquote pets.
Those were also like tigers, and they're like tigers are twice the size of a mountain lion. At least. I mean, and they were like jumping on people like at full speed. I know. I'm just saying, like this was a mountain lion that just kind of went ping, you know,
I'm
like
not
onto
saying
somebody.
it's great. I'm just saying I think more so than a lot of, especially now, like it would be just completely CG bullshit. But
Sure.
Right.
there
There
is
is a guy with a tennis ball.
yeah, there is an
Um,
element of danger to these scenes that I thought was palpable. I thought
Yeah.
it was like
It still can be done. I mean,
Yeah.
the grizzly scene in The Revenant is fucking
Yeah.
terrifying, and it's
The
Yeah.
good thing is, and this is how we know that this wasn't a Roar situation, at least, is the trivia isn't full of 38 photographers died on
Right.
this.
Yeah.
and we saw all these people in later films. Like
yeah.
we know everyone
Susan
was-
Day George doesn't have a new scalp or whatever. Yeah.
Right. Yes.
The best boy didn't get batted off of a cliff by a dog and a cat.
By the bestest boy.
Yeah, by the good boy.
Yeah.
Aw.
But yeah, I mean, it feels more controlled than some of those other ones. I felt like. I mean, it's just something about it. I mean, it's not saying it's not effective. I didn't get that like, oh God, I'm taken out of the movie. Like people are in peril sensation. I get sometimes.
Oh no, I didn't feel taken out of the movie. I felt like
Oh, I do. Like,
this
I mean,
is legit terrifying.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how you film this safely.
Yeah.
I know it's being filmed safely because time has told me there were no lawsuits or deaths from this film, but it's still just, that those are wolves.
Sure. Yes. I get it. I suppose. Like I said, it's just when like in Gone in 60 Seconds when that guy side clipped and that stunt went wrong. It was like that was like seeing an actual accident where it's like unless you're a sociopath, you're like
Yes.
You're like
Yeah.
human life is in
Yes.
danger. What can I do? I can't stop a car. Like it's just you should have that reaction of like danger. Like,
Yeah.
help. But
Yeah.
Anyway.
So yeah, they get attacked by mountain lions, and so everyone is getting more and more paranoid, and they're starting to turn on Steve, who I mean, he's not the best leader. His leadership is basically like, just trust me.
Yeah.
And they're like, every time we trust you, we get fucked over in some way. Like nothing you've said is right, and you're not reassuring us of anything really.
He's trying to go for the strong silent type. It's not really
Sure.
the time for it.
No, you need to like explain things and say, okay, don't worry, this redundancy will kick in, this redundancy will kick in. But basically he's just like, well, we never saw the helicopter fly over, and we told Mandy and what's his nuts to tell the helicopter to do that. So
They probably did. Yeah.
yeah, this is probably bad. And then this is when like Leslie Nielsen's like, you know what? Fuck this. Fuck y'all. We're going to the ranger station, which is 15 miles that way. He wants
Back
to go
up the mountain.
He wants to go 30 miles downward to get out. But Leslie Nielsen's like, no, we're going to the ranger station. Who's with me? Who's coming with me? And the people that go with him are
Doomed.
Andrew Stevens wants to go with him. Andrew Stevens is in this movie. If you like Shannon Tweed movies, Andrew Stevens is in this movie as a child. Him and his girlfriend, the girlfriend goes reluctantly, but they go, the mother and the child go.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it, really. Everyone else is like, they're dumb. Anyway, let's keep going down the mountain. And it's at this point that, so Leslie Nielsen has been having some mini freakouts. Just some mini, like, they yell at him for not being awake when the mountain lions attack, and he's like, well, it's not my fault, it's Steve's fault. And he's just escalating to a point. And then he skips that point and goes way above it from this point on, because the next time you see him leading them through the woods, his shirt is off. And he's got a bloody face, and it's pouring rain, and he is just, I'm in charge.
I mean, like lightning strikes are happening in the background.
Yeah.
And he's acting
he's
like
speechifying at one point, and
Well, he's
lightning
acting-
fucking hits a tree behind
he's
him.
acting like Robert Duvall in Apocalypse Now, where it's
Yeah.
just like, this doesn't phase me.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's like, I do what I want, and God, how dare you've treated me like shit my entire life. I'm the alpha male now. I'm going to take that lady. And Andrew Stevens is like, no, dude, that's not cool. Fight me. And
I know
Leslie
he says
Nielsen,
straight up, I'm going to kill you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Leslie Nielsen has been walking with a stick the whole time, and there's been some back and forth with the Native American guy, like, you should take this bigger stick, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, no, I don't want that stick. When he left the group, he took the bigger stick.
give him the stick.
Don't.
So Andrew Stevens is like, fight me. And Leslie Nielsen's like, okay, stab. It just kills him immediately.
Not even that. I think the guy actually like runs into the stick.
There's a little bit of that. It's like, I'm coming at you. And he's like, okay, poke.
Yeah. Good job, Piggy.
It's like, that is the dumbest. Like, y'all didn't think about that at all. Like, you had nothing for this scene. It was just like, okay, we need to get him out of the way because he has to menace this lady a lot. So he stops after killing Andrew Stevens and just kind of speechifies.
I guess it comes to his senses long enough to bury him because there is a makeshift crucifix grave marker.
I guess so.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like,
well, you don't want to attract bears.
except they do attract bears.
Yeah, but not because they didn't bury him.
Oh,
The bear was coming anyway.
yeah. You have to bury them better.
Uh-huh.
Bury them.
Oh, that word has bear in it.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
He at this point is like, oh yeah, I was gonna rape her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do that again. And now the only defense that's left is the old mom and the child. And the mom's gonna bash his head open with a rock. And she's just like, I can't do that.
The kid is actually like egging her on.
Oh
like,
yeah, he's like, do it.
Yeah, kill him.
Kill him. And she just puts the rock down. He's like, haha, that's what I thought. And he kind of continues starting to do what he's going to do. And then,
But then
Hero Bear shows
up. I mean, not okay.
The bear has been stalking people throughout this movie. However,
Only you can prevent forest rape.
but the bear has not attacked anybody. Like, the bear has not been a part of any animal attack so far.
Mm-hmm.
So the bear just shows up.
The bear seems to be part of the animal army because it started with the birds who were like the lookouts,
Yeah.
and then they called in the cougars and the wolves and
well,
and
there was one wolf that attacked a lady, and then that wolf scampered away and went and got another wolf.
Right, yeah.
And said, "Come with me, join my army." So now there's two wolves. You've seen the bear is running along with all of them, but the bear has participated in 0 animal attacks.
The bear is a friend.
Sure,
He's on the inside trying to
yes,
trying
but
to help out humans.
he has no patience for Leslie Nielsen. He's like,
He's got something for Leslie Nielsen because that bear
fight me.
that bear fucks Leslie Nielsen to death.
It is edited in a way where you could isolate that clip and go, oh.
When they showed the shot from behind Leslie Nielsen, it looks like that bear is giving him the hip gymnastics.
There's a bit
And then from the side, it looks like the bear is giving him the business.
there's some bear O-face going on.
And then the bear is on top of him and also looks like it's giving him the business. That bear fucked Leslie Nielsen to death.
There was some kind of jamboree going on.
What?
Yep.
Yeah, Leslie Nielsen fights a bear.
Uh-huh. Like bare-chested.
No, Leslie Nielsen does not fight a bear. Leslie Nielsen gets fucked by a bear
But I mean,
to death.
But I mean, he goes in
He
for it.
proposes
He does.
fighting
He
the
does.
bear.
The bear thought it was consensual.
He's like, "Come at me, bro."
But I mean, it's not just like, oh shit, it's a bear. No, hand me that
Oh,
chair.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's like he goes running in like, ah, like I'm.
Yeah, because Leslie Nielsen has lost his mind.
Yeah. He's like, "I'm the king of the jungle, motherfucker. Come at me. Let's fucking do this." Oh god, I'm being raped to death by a bear. It's hysterical. Like, it's everything from the point where Leslie Nielsen somehow took his shirt off and is king of the forest. Everything except for the attempted raping that he does is hilarious in a dramatic way. I just mean that, like, it's not Naked Gun hilarious. It is this man who is a serious actor is hamming it up to the nth degree, and it's fucking hilarious. And then he's like, "A bear, fight me, come at me." It's like, oh, dear God. I don't know. That's the highlight of the movie. The movie kind of runs out of energy after that.
Yeah, because then it's just like, oh, well.
What do you do after you've
Did you remember all those
had a bear fuck
cougars
someone
and pumas and bears
Yeah.
and shit? Oh my!
Yeah.
It's like, you know what we got now? Fucking dogs. Dogs and snakes.
The rest of the movie is pretty much dogs because, like, the survivors, they just are like, well, Leslie Nielsen got 8. Let's leave. And they come across one of the helicopters that brought
I
them
think
up
they
there.
made it to the ranger station. I think it was the implication.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But the helicopter's kind of, it's been fucked up. Like, it didn't make it. And they just kind of get in it because dogs start chasing them.
There's actually okay, so there are little tiny set design or whatever you want to call it type of continuity things that are really clever in this movie. One of them, when the cougar attack happens, one cougar gets stabbed in the leg, and we see that cougar like has a wound on it for the rest of the movie. They actually bothered to keep that continuity.
They painted that cougar.
Yeah, but the downed helicopter, there's like dead birds on top of it. I
Yes.
think the birds were just like
They birdemic
fuck
that
it,
thing.
you know,
Oh,
like
yeah.
kamikaze the helicopter
Yes.
down. Yeah, so
So they hide in there from this one pack of dogs who are just trying to shackma their way into this helicopter. I mean, they are full speed hump running at this thing like, I got to get in there no matter what. There's jerky treats or something in there.
I think they ran out of exotic animal money for the end of this movie.
Maybe.
They're like,
Just get some dogs.
Dogs work.
So
It's all German Shepherds, though. Like,
Yeah,
except for the shaggy dog that that kills Volkswagen Man, whatever
Right.
his name was.
now this dog, you see this dog early in the film. He's menacing the sheriff, and he
Yes.
shows up later to menace the sheriff. Now this is after the sheriff has been woken up in the middle of the night and is being told by his deputies that, is like, shit, the ozone layer's fucked up, chief. You need to get down
like
here.
the army's here. It's
Army's
martial law.
here.
Yeah.
We're evacuating everybody. He's like, do we have to do this now? And he's like, yes, it's a fucking emergency, dumbass. Get down here. So he's like, well, first a snack. So he goes into the kitchen, and there is just noise everywhere. Like, he is creeping around his house because he just hears constant noise.
Mhm.
And what I wanted was for him to go open the kitchen door, flip on the light, and it just be filled with every animal. Just all of them in there, just like ready to murder him. But instead, it's like nothing. There's nothing in there. And so he's slowly opening cabinets looking for things, and you're like, the gremlin's going to pop
Yeah.
out of there. And
It's gonna get snaked in the face.
Yeah.
I was actually expecting a cat scare, or like for
Yeah.
once, like an evil cat scare.
there are no cat scares in this
No.
film. The one movie that has the excuse to fucking do it. So he pretty much
I mean,
opens.
the cougar popping out of nowhere is kind of a cat
But that's
scare.
a cat attack. It's not
All
a
right.
cat scare. Is a
That's
random
true.
like, here's just a cat being a cat scaring a person to relieve tension in the audience.
Yeah, I guess it would have to be a house cat, not a cougar.
Right.
Yeah.
So he has opened every cabinet and is like, I guess I was hearing things, and goes to make himself a giant ham sandwich. So he pulls out a giant ham out of the fridge, puts it on the table, turns around, turns back around, and the ham is swarmed with rats. And he's like, oh, dear God. Now, these rats, somehow, because they're crazy, have gotten the ability to just leap right at this man's face.
Well,
Well, I think it's the strings around their
Sure.
little rat bodies
I
that
know.
yank them.
But in the fiction,
Oh.
these
Wait,
rats,
this movie is fiction?
Well, yeah, I mean, again, because people don't react exactly maybe how you should. I mean, I don't know how one should react to, doing a mirror scare with a ham that's now covered with rats. But I'm just saying, like, he turns around to get bread, and there's like, oh my God, there are 24 rats crawling around on this ham. I don't know how you're supposed to react to that, if it were reality. But he's like, oh, kitchen knife, I'm gonna go get those rats.
But first he throws a
throws
loaf of
the-
bread.
that's
at
right.
them.
throws the
Yeah.
bread at them,
Yeah.
like, ew. But yes, he does get a knife.
And then,
3 or 4 of the rats jump at him.
well, yeah, it's almost like they were like, oh, you're coming at us? Well,
We come
fuck
at you.
Yeah.
He kills one with the knife, and just is like, I'm gonna show this rat what's what, and takes it over to the front door to throw it out in the yard. And that's when that dog is back again, growling at him. You're like, this dog has a murder boner for the sheriff. It better kill him by the end of this, and it doesn't. But anyway, he goes into town, and people are evacuating, and that's pretty much the last time you see crowds of people, because they're all either evacuated.
I don't think
or-
we ever even see fat ass sheriff again, do we?
He's dead. He's in the army truck.
Oh, is
He's-
that
He
him?
falls on the horn
Is that him? That's,
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
because he has rat bites on his face.
Yeah, he did. Okay. I didn't even put that together.
That was him
I don't know why he was in the army truck, but okay.
trying to get away.
But I mean, why was he driving? Like, why wasn't one of the army guys driving? Whatever.
They were all dead.
They
Okay.
had all, dog.
All that dog
Okay.
snakes.
Yeah.
Snakes
But I
and
mean,
dogs.
like, it's all dogs from here. I mean, like
Yeah.
the people in the helicopter that are left get menaced by the dogs. The rest of the crew get.
they go to like this cabin. There's
Yeah,
like
like
these
an old
shit ass
campsite.
cabins in
Yeah.
the woods, and they just go in one, and it's like, oh, they just are cracking jokes like, oh, this is the Ritz, and and it's just like all of a sudden, oh shit, dogs,
Mhm.
German shepherds, fucking run.
Wasn't it? Because they walk out of one, and they're like, "Oh, I guess it'll do." It's not exactly, and then one is like knocks the chimney off the top of the roof.
Yes,
and it's like because there's a German Shepherd up
yeah,
on there
because they're
going,
like, the
he's,
fuck.
he's going roof. Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, And then he calls to the other pack, the rest of the pack, and then they're just like, "Oh shit,
Yeah.
run!" And they run to one cabin. I don't know
The
why.
furthest one away.
I don't know why one. Maybe it was the one that looked the most intact. But
Yeah, it had doors.
Yeah,
it didn't
it
because
was
they didn't because they just threw as soon as they got in there. It was like throw shit.
It had a screen door
Okay.
that they blocked with some wood,
Okay,
but the
but-
rest of them didn't even have doors.
Okay, so yeah, they get in there. The dogs are like, "We're gonna murder you for like 2 minutes," and then they like all simultaneously like, like they gave some kind of signal, like call off the attack.
Yeah. They're
And
all
then-
just like, shh.
And then they're just like, "Oh, well, like, maybe they're gone. Maybe we should have."
The best part of this attack is the one dog who just sticks his paw in there and is just swiping at him like it's just this dog paw coming through a hole like
I love
swinging
it
at him
somewhere. I mean, probably not for this movie, but somewhere that they were like, "Oh, look at that dog paw prop. Give me that." Like,
Yeah, oh yeah, watch this. We
got a
bonus
shot
scare.
For this. Yeah,
It's
like,
there's,
ooh,
there's really nothing one single dog paw can
yeah,
do.
well,
to you.
what can a dog paw do? Period. Like,
Yeah.
give you a light scratch on your leg.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's like,
really.
oh no, please. So yeah, they're like, they must have left. Let's go outside. And it's like, you fucking dumbasses. They are sitting there waiting for you, and you know it. They're like, everything's fine. Let's go outside. So they go outside, and guess what? The dogs are waiting for them.
No. He opens the door, and that's when one decides to dog fenestrate
Yeah.
itself through the back window or
Yes.
whatever. But he's like, open the door. Steve's opened the door. Like, I guess it's safe. And then, it's just like the dogs burst in through every opening, and then. So basically, like the professor guy and the football guy.
They'd been having conversations throughout the film about the nature of life and death and nothing matters, and because the football guy's dying of cancer, and professor's just like, you gotta take them as they come, guy.
It's
and he's
more
like,
about acceptance. I think that's a healthy thing, not
Sure.
not the nihilistic.
but at the end of their conversation, the football guy's like, well, why don't we just lay down and die then? And professor's like, yeah, might as well. I mean, but they just go to sleep and nothing comes from that. But they are the two to sacrifice themselves. They're like, get out of here.
And I'm angry because, again, like, I have been trained that, like, if you tell me,
If you have a heroic sportsman,
I'm just saying, if you have any skill, it is Chekhov's skill. If, like, you have a skill and it is mentioned in a movie, and there is a scenario where that skill can save somebody, it better fucking come into use. That's all I'm saying.
like somebody's running away, being chased by a dog, and he throws a football at the dog.
I'm saying,
and lets
like,
them get away.
Let's
While he's being sacked by other dogs.
let's paint a difference. Let's say it was Mandy
Sacked.
and not Leslie Nielsen that was menaced by the bear. So the bear is standing there by Mandy on the cliffside about to attack Mandy, and he's like, "Hut, hut, hut," and fucking tackles a bear over
Sure,
the
yeah,
cliffside
tackles
to
a bear
his
over the
death.
cliff.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm talking about. Like, that's how
I like the football thing better, but
I like
because he gets sacked by dogs.
Yeah, the football man's skill does not come into play. Dude's camera photography shit doesn't come into
No.
play. It's like, oh, he's going to blind something with his camera at some
No.
point. Like these things.
He's got a bear blinding flash on
yeah,
his.
it blinds bears.
And a football guy even throws a canteen.
Yeah.
That he throws a canteen off the fucking mountain. It's like, dude, you might have found some more water to put in that canteen. But okay,
I
sure,
thought
throw your gear away,
I thought
idiot.
he had already had the conversation with the professor at that point. They're standing at a cliff. He throws that canteen over. I thought he was just going to run his ass off the cliff and just be like, yeah, I was just testing to see how far that canteen would go.
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm out of here. I thought that's how they were gonna dispatch that guy, but no, he sacrifices himself.
In when I make Day of the Animals 2,
yeah,
the
It's not-
unauthorized sequel, I'll make sure Football Man jumps off the cliff.
it's good.
Not even really football man's decision. He's just in the middle of the dog pile. It's the professor that's like, "Get out of here, go."
Yeah,
You go.
Football man was already swarmed with
Yeah.
dogs. Like it's
Yeah.
not like he could have gotten out.
I'm just saying.
I didn't
it
even
was-
know he was still in there at
Yeah.
first.
But yeah, I mean, they run out. Like one or two dogs chase after them, but most of them are still busy eating the people inside.
They're
I
like,
guess
we're good here.
And
Football man's tasty.
they run down to the docks. They're like, "Get in the water. The dogs can't paddle." I don't know.
I think they were thinking that old chestnut where dogs can't track you over water.
Yeah.
But they were all
they're like also like right behind them, and they had
Right.
eyesight on them.
Correct.
But, yeah, and dogs can swim. So, but I mean,
But she can't.
But they run down to the docks, and then Susan Day is just like,
I can't swim.
swim.
So they decide to like
Actually,
bust
Susan
up the
Day is a different person. That's from the
I was
Partridge
gonna say
Family.
Susan Day
Yeah.
George.
Yeah, so I guess that
I can
Linda Day George.
Right.
is it.
Yeah, you fucked all that up.
Is it? It's Susan Day George. It's
Nope.
Linda Day George. Okay,
Linda Day
I just-
George.
I
You just said Susan Day.
I just potpourri this from
Susan
Jeopardy, yeah.
Backlany, Linda Day George.
Whatever.
Linda with a Y.
Yeah.
she can't swim.
Yes.
So they're like, tear this dock away from from the solid ground. So they
Yeah, they basically just make a raft.
Yeah,
out of
this
the dock.
floatable dock. They just detach it from where it is,
And as I said, as they're about to set sail, one of the dogs, or actually two of the dogs, I said they huck fenestrate themselves onto the boat because they just dive on and are like, "We're going along for the ride."
Yep, going down the rapids.
You can just say jump.
I like huck fenestrate because they jump onto a raft.
There's no windows involved, though.
I know,
There are no
but
fenestra in
fine. My fucking huck fenestrate joke on a raft. I mean, come on.
Oh, Huck Finn.
Yes,
Okay.
There
thank
it is.
you.
There
Thank
it
you.
is.
Yeah, okay.
There it is,
Now I get it.
everybody.
All right.
Okay. Well,
Thank you.
yeah,
Good
it's
night.
all right. That's all right. It's okay. It's
So yeah, they're hanging on the side of this thing while the dogs are on top of it, just like, we're gonna fucking murder you. And then it's like, oh no, there are rapids.
Barely rapids.
Well,
I mean, the water speeds up for about a minute.
I mean, it's kind of like the three remaining people should just be like, fuck everything, just fuck everything. And it seems like the movie is going to end. Like, it just seems like everyone dies.
It just is kind of pan away with it because like they're all hanging on the side of the raft while two German shepherds are on the raft,
Right.
like menacing them.
Yeah, and it fades away from that to dudes in tinfoil suits walking the streets like, the Center for Disease Control.
jargon.
The ozone layer is repairing itself at a remarkable rate. The crisis is over. Boy, this town really got fucked. Anyway, oh, look, a child.
Well, also, I mean, it was also just like all the animals seem to be dying, and all of the people that are left are barely people, or something. They said some line like that.
Well, and they're also like, we need to figure out why some of these people aren't affected by this.
Right.
Like, there's an immunity here that we don't understand.
Sure.
Which is really just there as VO to explain why some of our main characters did not go crazy.
And to set up day of the afternoon of the animal. Or,
Right.
Yeah. So like they find
Boxing
the
Day of the
girl.
animals.
You kind of think with your history of watching movies, like the girl is going to be revealed to be like queen of the animals, and she's going to direct the animals to attack all these dudes. That's not it. The girl is like legit, like, oh, thank God, I've been rescued, and they're like, we will save you, and that's kind of the end of that. And then it cuts back to them.
Oh, she'll be fine. Yeah, she hasn't watched a whole bunch of people die.
Yeah, she watched her new friend get horribly murdered by several animals, snakes and dogs.
Living together.
Yeah. So they cut back to the raft. The dogs are gone. Like, I don't know when the dogs were like, cheese it, we're out of here. But they left, and the people just climbed up.
They died.
I assume
and
they
fell
died.
off.
Yeah, and fell off.
That's-
or the people
Well, that's
fell
true,
off.
yes,
Yeah.
because the people in the helicopter wake up and look
the dogs are
outside, and they're
dead.
like, oh, everything's dead. There's got to be a morning after. it's just that kind of ending. It's just like, oh, everything's fine now. But yeah, they wake up on the raft, and they're just like, yeah, we're alive.
Yeah, they've just floated like under a bridge where hazmat guys are, and and it's just kind of like, all right. Well,
They're acting
we're
like,
done.
well, everything's fine. But also, like, there's a car on fire on the bridge, and you're like, is it? And also, they're way up there. What are you going to do about it? But they're basically like, everything's fine. And then there's just a shot of one of the birds that's not dead, slowly
Menacing.
flying towards the camera. The end. The animals, all dead, but one animal.
Manimal.
Manimal?
The most dangerous animal of all.
Is animal?
Oh, man.
Oh.
Humans. Human beings. Homo sapiens.
The most dangerous animal of all is animals.
Well, they also do a lot of stupid things. Like, they say a lot of stupid things. Like, back a million years ago, there weren't even animals. There was just bugs and reptiles. And
Yeah,
it's like,
those are animals.
It's like animal, plant, or mineral.
Yeah.
Which one of these are they not?
Yeah.
Negative, sir. I am a meat popsicle.
I'm disappointed we never got to see that snake again from the opening credits. The one who was like, "Hi."
Oh yeah, that snake was cute.
He was just, oh, look, a scary snake, and then he just goes, "Hey."
He's probably very poisonous because he was very brightly colored.
Yes.
So, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying he was also cute.
He was.
No, it's just like more brightly colored the snake. Usually, the more deadly they are.
Yeah, but he had a cute smile.
Except for the Gaboon Viper,
Oh,
which blends in extremely well. Look out. Gaboon Vipers could be anywhere.
are they just in Gaboon?
Anywhere?
Can I just stay away from Gaboon?
They could be anywhere. You never know if there's a Gaboon Viper lurking in your shoe.
So they're like predator snakes. They're just like, over here.
I don't know where the fucking boon vipers are. I
Turn
just
around.
saw one on the internet today, and it was terrifying.
Okay.
Like in a public library using the internet?
Yes.
Like, I'm a
Yeah.
Blue Viper. I'm checking my stocks.
Right. Checking its email.
Day of the Animals. Is
Make
over.
sure you used SSL.
Those are two noises a snake could make. A snake could make
I've
a
never heard of a snake make an old noise.
Oh, they
but
could with their tongue,
sure.
just like a little.
Yeah.
Yeah, Spanish snakes. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta roll it. It's the double L.
It's L snake.
Okay, Google.
Well,
Can
it's
snakes
not
roll their R's?
It's a legit question.
I'm a rattlesnake.
I'm a pit viper.
I've never heard somebody roll an E before. That's impressive. Or an I guess.
Viper.
Rolled an I.
Yes. I roll my own.
Yeah.
Anywho. Should we
That's
rate
it.
this thing?
I guess so.
We should.
Oh, okay. 3 jocks.
Yeah,
It's,
really?
It's dumb, yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's dumb. It's not great.
3 jocks is pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I just like seeing animals be thrown on people. So, I mean, like, I don't know. Like, as a movie, it's not great, but like, I enjoy watching animals be hucked on people. That was just continually funny to me for some reason. And everybody acting just dumb. Like, I mean, and Leslie Nielsen's like, you know, ensign level, like, switch flip Lord of the Flies moment. You know, it's just, I don't know. It's all dumb and
Yeah,
not
do we
great.
get an Ensign award for Leslie Nielsen? He kind of
It's so gradual. I feel like the incident is just like
except the fact that, you know, when it starts raining, he turns into, you know,
Yeah, he.
God ain't got shit on me.
But I mean, he'd been ramping up his dickishness because, like, you know,
Fair
I
enough,
don't think we
fair
really mentioned that. Like, he was just like, "Hey, hotshot to Steve." You're like, "Hotshot hasn't found us any food," and
Steve.
Yeah, he's constantly needling Steve.
so finally Steve just punches him, and that's when I think he's like, "All right, fine, 2 different places."
Kind of backhands him in a way that's
chops
really
him in the-
humiliating. Because Leslie Nielsen just has to take it, and they both act like that is ended. This conversation is over. That is the period at the end of the sentence.
But yeah, I don't know. It's maybe on another day it'd be lower, but yeah, I don't know. I just enjoyed animals being hucked on people, so that's dumb and funny.
I agree with you. It's a 3 jocks movie, but only in the context of watching it with your friends because it's fun to just talk over. I think watching it alone would be a little. It would stretch your attention span a little bit because, like, you know why you're here, and you know what you want from this, and there are so many opportunities for it to happen, and they just kind of skip it. And it's not like they're setting up fake scares; they're just setting up no scares. They're not built like, man, everything with the sheriff in that house is such good horror movie tension, and none of it pays off. Like, even when it's like, oh, a plate of rats, you're like, yeah, because even he's like, later he says to the wife, like, the rats are acting weird. Like, they had rats and he knew that they were there. They had just never swarmed his ham before or jumped at his face.
Well, I've never had rats swarm my ham before, so.
So, I think it's fun to fill in the gaps with your friends, so that makes it a little better. But I still think you can have fun with it on your own. It's got moments. It really does. In comparison to Grizzly, I think Grizzly is a way better movie, but this is fun.
What was your rating? I missed it.
3 also.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm so back and forth on this because it kind of sucks. But also, yeah, there is fun stuff in it, like getting to see Leslie Nielsen go completely unhinged in a serious way, and all of the animals flying in from off screen, or, you know, jumping through the windows or just leaping on people. Tons of fun. I don't know.
What was our other Leslie Nielsen
Ow.
disaster movie? Was it Fire? Is that what he was in, or what was he in?
That must have been an extra.
Yeah.
was.
He might have been in Fire. He was definitely in Viva Knievel.
Okay. I thought he was in like one of those like shit's on fire or an earthquake or something happened. Like,
Shit's on fire.
I'm just saying, like, we watched some of those like not kind of sort of nondescript disaster movies where it's just like I don't know, thing happened.
He might have been in that one where it might.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever. Sorry, didn't mean to derail here. I was just
City on Fire.
City on Fire.
He was the mayor.
Okay.
I just don't know. I'll give it 2 jocks. You know, I think that's fair. Because the movie itself, like the film, is, it's kind of in the bags territory. But all of the goofy stuff certainly helps, and the 387,000 jokes we made at this movie's expense in the theater was pretty good.
Yep.
So yeah, 2 jocks.
We made so many jokes we can't even remember them all.
I know. I can't remember any of them because there were too many.
You're right.
I can't even remember the good jokes. I mean, it's not unusual for me, but anyway.
I also want to point out, we kind of were talking a lot about Leslie Nielsen, like when he kind of switched over. Yeah, Airplane was like his first like real super jokey role, but like his career didn't go comedy until The Naked Gun.
Really?
Like between Airplane and The Naked Gun, he's still in a lot of dramatic stuff.
Okay.
It's like then he made The Naked Gun, and then everyone's like, "Get that guy! He makes fart noises." So, yeah, because his career, like all through that, is still pretty dramatic. So,
As is mine.
yeah.
I mean, maybe it's like, maybe the Airplane thing was because it's not like Lloyd Bridges only did comedies after that, or
Right.
something. It's just like that was a bunch of serious people doing dumb
Right.
things.
And
Robert Stack, and,
Like Lloyd Bridges also, like when by the time he got to Hot Shots, he's like, oh my god, get that goofy guy for everything. But like he was still doing serious roles.
Oh
after
yeah,
that too,
yeah,
so.
lots of them.
Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
that's The Day of the Animals, a movie that takes place over the course of 8 or 9 days.
Yes, the Fortnight of the Animals.
Yeah. We surmised that the animals must have been Jewish because instead of one day of presents,
That was
they
the
had,
joke.
they
That
had
was the
8
joke.
crazy nights.
That
8
was the joke.
Crazy bites. Yeah.
Thank you. That
That-
was it.
There it is.
It was it. Yeah, because we were like, well, that's where the joke came from. Because we were like, all of the animals were like watching them just walk along this trail, and you're like, they're there, eat them. It's like all 10, like the remaining 10 were all just standing there, kind of tiredly walking, and I was like, the animals are smarter. They're not like Christmas. They don't want to open up all their presents all at once. They're just, yeah. So they're having 8 crazy bites.
You can have a Nagila, but you better not have another. Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm in the Poconos doing a set for a fortnight, just brushing up on my material. Yeah, that's about it. BMFcast.com, BMF at BMFcast.com, Patreon.com/BMFcast, all the other things /BMFcast. Get in touch with us. 905-JOCKS BMF 905-556-9263. That's a phone number you can call and leave a message. We'd love to hear from you. Tell us about when you've been attacked by dogs, or cats, or snakes, or rats, or vultures, or eagles, hawks, pumas, warthogs, etc. Tell us about your animal attack experiences, folks. That's what we want to know for next week. And yeah,
I've been charged at by a bull and sort of hit by one. So
have you really?
I got grazed. Yeah.
What the fuck, were you in Pamplona or?
No, I was in a.
It was at the county
I was
fair.
at a farm where there was a bull, and the
Why were
bull
you-
got angry and charged at me.
Were you teasing the bull?
I was not. I guess I got.
Were you wearing a red sweater?
I don't
That's
know
not
what
true,
the hell
Chuck.
triggered. I don't know what triggered him. I was just. I was like near a fence, and I literally radio clowned my way up this fence very quickly, and he just sort of tagged my leg, but it was.
Damn.
Wow.
I call bullshit.
Okay. So, all right. I mean, I got no.
No,
I have no counter to
Yeah,
that.
show us your scar. Yeah,
Okay.
show us your.
That's okay.
Take your pants down. Show
Yeah.
the scar.
No.
I mean, I can't show you most of my scars. I mean, I've got one.
You can.
I've got one hiding under
Oh.
here, but yeah.
I'll see that later.
I mean, there's a patch where no.
I mean, later
no,
when he shaves,
no
it
hair
went
is
something.
growing. You know, there's a small patch in there where I fell off a mountain or a waterfall.
Which one is it? Pick one. I'm calling
Well, I
bullshit
mean,
on the story too.
it was a waterfall on a mountain. I mean,
Uh-huh,
it was
yeah,
the waterfall
I
that
believe you.
made me fall. So, you know, the mountain was kind of
right there
gradual.
with
It
name.
was more like a
Yeah.
more like a Harlow.
I'm saying
fall,
the
right?
mountain's kind of gradual. The fall was, you know, abrupt. Let's say that.
The fall was likely gradual. The stop was.
Oh, that was
The
abrupt.
abrupt part.
Yeah, the rock at the bottom was the abrupt part. That's that I hit. Anyway.
Let's get out of here, shall we?
Okay. I am Harlow. I've hit things.
I am BJ. I have hit some things too, I guess.
I'm Chuck. I have nothing to confess.
And this is BMFcast out. We have hit the end of this podcast. That's a good one. Yeah, I like that. That's a
Yeah.
good outro. Good outro. Now I don't have to do an intro because I did an outro.
Yeah, you do it. You do after an intro.
Fuck.
I really think you should say the most dangerous animal is animal.
Okay. All right. Here's a live one for the YouTube audience.
Oh.
When I'm doing the intro regularly, I don't sit up like this. It's only when we're on the YouTubes that I actually sit up for it.
That's why I sit back for it, so that
Yeah.
I can't be blown back by the
Right.
power of the intro.
Yeah.
I feel like I got to perform for the people.
Dance, monkey, dance.
Sorry, I thought about it.
What? Did you just do the two dicks dancing?
No. I thought about. I just thought about the
intro,
the
the
words
words.
I was going to say, so I went ahead and let myself laugh before I tried it. This week on the BMFcast, the most dangerous animal is animals.
Sorry. Whoa, it got me. I'm so sorry. I usually don't look at Chuck because that's what gets me. I'm fucking sorry.
It's okay. That was clean. We can pick it up with the second part.
One roar, we're in. I just live for making Chuck laugh. That's
Yeah.
all I want to do.
That's why I don't usually look at you.
I may have done one roar we're in for the roar episode. Holy shit, it's bright in here.
Yeah, wow.
Now they're taking off my cool shade.
I can see so much more light. You should try it. See what happens.
Yeah, it's bright.
You can put him back on. You can put it back on. Harlow had his eyes messed with.
Transplanted.
Yeah.
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 He has new eyes.
Operate those walls.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
Well, that was a podcast.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. And only one porn bot.
Yeah.
We're in.
Our AI help you find perfect match.
What is the recording industry of America helping us find RIAA? Is it they're helping us find matches?
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
Finally. Working for us. We have fun. Good night, everybody.
Good night, friends and fans.
Or both. Or neither.
One star. We're out.